Mr. McCurdy, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Barish. It's a pleasure being here.
Let's start with a general question. How did Turkish Americans supported candidates fare on Tuesday's elections?
I think we have a very good success story here. Turkish Americans across the country, especially in the states of New Hampshire, New Jersey, North Carolina, Indiana, Texas, and California, and Arizona, and I almost forgot Florida, were quite active in grassroots politics. And there are a lot of new members of Congress just elected who are going to be supportive of U.S.-Turkish relations.
The Turkey caucus in Congress recently hit the number 125 in terms of membership. In the new Congress, what does this change mean for the Turkey caucus? Do you have the numbers?
Yes, I do. By the end of the year, we're going to lose 25 members. 11 members are retiring, and unfortunately 14 members of the Turkish caucus lost their election. And we also have 2 members whose elections are still undecided. That's the bad news. The good news is that we have approximately 30 newly elected members or current members of Congress who will be joining the caucus. So we'll have a setback, but we'll make it up very quickly in the beginning of the year.
How important is it for Turkish American interests that the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, will be passing on her gavel to Ohio Representative John Boehner in the new Congress?
I believe John Boehner has a better understanding and a greater appreciation of U.S.-Turkish relations than Speaker Pelosi. As we all know, Speaker Pelosi gave great importance to the Armenian Genocide Resolution. This is not the case with Mr. Boehner.
There's another change which can impact that very debate, and that is the change that we expect will take place in the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman Howard Berman will leave his chairmanship and probably for Ilyana Ros-Lehtinen from Florida. How will that impact the debate, you think?
As you can recall, during the committee vote on the Armenian Genocide Resolution, it was Congresswoman Ros-Lehtinen who led the fight opposing the resolution. She's a great friend of Turkey. She seeks out Turkish Americans in her district in southern Florida. And she will make time to listen to the concerns and issues of Turkish Americans.
The House resolution on the Armenian genocide was recently placed on the House calendar. Do you have a concern that this resolution might come up in the lame duck session before the new Congress convenes?
You should never take anything for granted. There's always that possibility. Mm-hmm. I would hope that the Democratic leadership would focus on the pressing problems of America rather than trying to pass this resolution. Obviously, we're going to be monitoring this very closely, but they just have too much on their plate right now.
Now, there were 5 Turkish Americans running in this particular race this year. 2 of them won. One of the ones that was not successful was Oz Benger, who is the first Turkish American to run for Congress in the United States. He was running for a state legislative seat, yes, and he was not successful. My colleague Melik Çağlar spoke to him after the election. Let's listen to that tape and then we can discuss.
Certainly.
Her şeyden önce kampanya hazırlığına erken başlamak çok önemli. En az 2 yıllık bir hazırlık dönemi gerekiyor. Bu tüm adaylar için geçerli. Elbette Türk-Amerikan toplumundan olabildiğince destek toplamak da çok önemli. Ne yazık ki Amerikan seçimlerinde para çok önemli yer tutuyor. Seçmenlere ulaşabilmek, uzun soluklu kampanyalar yürütebilmek için maddi kaynağa büyük ihtiyacınız var. New York, New Jersey gibi eyaletlerde yaşayan Amerikalı Türklerin sayısı çok fazla. Buralarda Türk kökenli politikacılar adaylıklarını koyabilir. Benim böyle bir şansım yoktu. Türk kökenli Amerikalı siyasetçilere kesinlikle bu iki eyaletten aday olmalarını öneririm. Eğer Maryland Eyalet Meclisi'ne girebilseydim hem eyalet meclisi üyeleri hem de kongre üyeleriyle doğrudan iletişim kurma şansım olurdu. Bu şekilde de Türk-Amerikan toplumunu ve Türkiye'yi ilgilendiren konuları onların gündemine taşıyabilirdim. Zaten benim aday olmamın nedenlerinden biri de buydu. Bu konuları konuşabileceğim bir platform oluşturmaktı. Türkiye'nin ve buradaki Türk toplumunun sesini en iyi duyurabilecek kişiler yine kendi aramızdan çıkaracağımız isimler olacaktır.
Mr. McCurdy, can you tell us a little bit about the five candidates who won? What does this say for Turkish American participation in U.S. politics?
I think this is very significant that for the first time ever there had been 5 Turkish Americans running for public office. This is the highest number ever. Unfortunately, not all of them won. We're all disappointed. But the good news is that at least 2 won, and that all 5 are pioneers and a source of inspiration for other Turkish Americans to consider running for public office, especially the younger generation. This is a good start, and now we have 3 Turkish Americans in public office. Judge Jake Karahan from Houston, Texas, won re-election, and he won by a wide margin. And then we had John Alpay from San Clemente, California, winning a seat on the school board, which is one of the largest school districts in the state of California. And the third Turkish American that's in public office, but she didn't have an election this year, is Mrs. Essen Bush from Illinois. She's a township trustee. So now we have 3 Turkish Americans holding public office. I know this sounds insignificant compared to other ethnic groups, but this is a great start.
So in general, what can you tell us about a Republican majority in the House of Representatives and how it may impact U.S.-Turkey relations in general terms?
The bottom line is it doesn't matter whether you have a Democratic majority or a Republican majority. The importance is grassroots. The importance is maintaining dialogue with your elected officials. Yes, under Mr. Boehner, if he becomes Speaker of the House, which it looks like he will, the Armenian genocide resolution may not be top priority. However, Turkey's in a very tough neighborhood. There's a lot of misunderstanding about that neighborhood. There's a lot of misunderstanding about Turkish-Iranian relations. Turkish Americans can play a key role of educating other Americans of non-Turkish heritage about the complexities of the region. So dialogue is important regardless who's in power.
Lincoln McCurdy, the Turkish Coalition of America, thank you very much. And you're pointing out a promising future for Turkish American participation.
I'm very optimistic.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.